See? Now I can play that at the same volume, but softer.
The sound that's characteristic of electric guitars is the wow-wow effect that you make with the pedal.
I have to kick this to start it.
Could you play some and explain how it's done?
As I rock the pedal, you can hear it through the amplifier. As I rock the pedal, it takes bass off and puts treble on, you see, like that. So in actual fact, your volume isn't going down very much, but the tone is going wow, wow, like that.
Many of you don't know this, but the reason I ended up in Nashville was because I was a young guitar player pursuing my passion. I was able to make a living full-time playing music, performing in bands all across Nashville, and it was great. Got to travel the country, got to meet a lot of amazing people. One of my biggest inspirations as a young guitar player in terms of who to study, who to listen to, was Eric Clapton. I learned so much from this guy. This guy was like a living history book on rock and roll, on guitar in general. And here he is, of course, sharing his thoughts on what happened during 2020 when everything was locked down and people were forced to take the needles. Based on how everything is unraveling, the general population is finally starting to catch up and realize that was a pandemic. Something was fishy about that entire year and about what they did to us, how they locked down our economy, how we had small businesses getting sued left and right for trying to operate, how people were forced to remain in home while their loved ones were perishing in hospitals or assisted living facilities. Everything about that was wicked. The measures were draconian and just illogical altogether. Let's take a listen to Eric Clapton's experience.
And bit by bit, I realized that I probably shouldn't have had the first jab, but then I was offered the second. And I thought, well, what have I got? What's the point in, stopping now? So I went and had the second, and then it got really bad. And within about a week, I had lost, my hands didn't really work. I suffered from a condition already called peripheral neuropathy, which is nerve damage pain, really, which means that, I can get numb or pins and needles. When I had the second jab, and they do say that condition, by the way, is progressive and it's incurable. So I had expected it to be, it's manageable. I expected it to be something that would gradually grow worse as I got older, into my 80s or whatever. But this ramped up from, on a scale of 10, say, from 3 to 8 or 9. Agony and chronic pain is not, when you know that nothing will work, there's no medication you can take that will help, is very, very frightening. And the worst thing is you don't know when it's going to wear off or when it's going to go away. So that was, that was what frightened me the most, medically, health-wise. And it still does, because I have gigs to do, I have recording work to do. But I can't, to touch the guitar, to play the guitar is not fun, and it's something I do, then when I put it down, it's there until I go to bed, and I take sleeping pills because I can't sleep because of the pain, and it's not a good way to live.
The 2020 pandemic introduced a rift into his own family. You hear him state that he felt like his own children, who were teenagers, they just didn't want to listen to him. He felt they were brainwashed. Those were his words. And this is a man who's made a living playing the guitar for over half a century. He's been a giant in the game, considered one of the greatest since he first started, since the beginning. John Mayall, Blues Breakers, the Yardbirds, with Cream, Traffic. He played with Delaney and Bonnie. He started Derek and the Dominoes, his solo career. Whatever aspect you want, guys, I love Eric Clapton. Whatever aspect of his career you want to look at, he's made a living for over half a century being one of the greats in his field. This is an article from The Atlantic. Let's declare a pandemic amnesty. We need to forgive one another for what we did and said when we were in the dark about COVID. Guys, liberals hate accountability so much. Instead of saying, we were wrong, we apologize, guys, I think we should just forgive one another. You guys were the ones who wanted to be the boots on the ground, the foot soldiers who were reporting people that didn't want to take the jab. You were contacting their jobs, their HR offices, and trying to get them fired. You were getting people debanked, deplatformed. People couldn't even use Uber. They couldn't even use Uber to get a ride because you guys were trying to cancel them in every aspect of life. You were denying them products, services. You were denying people the opportunity to go to restaurants. Sit down, take your mask off, put your mask back on until the food comes, take it off again to eat. All the illogical behaviors that you guys were following. You look insane to us normal people. You guys look absolutely insane. It looked like it was out of a George Orwell book. Watching you guys follow these orders from Big Brother that look just absolutely stupid. When the vaccines came out, we lacked definitive data on the relative efficacies of the Johnson & Johnson shot versus the mRNA options from Pfizer and Moderna. The mRNA vaccines have won out, but at the time, many people in public health were either neutral or expressed a J&J preference. This misstep wasn't nefarious, it was a result of uncertainty. Obviously, some people intended to mislead and make widely irresponsible claims. Remember when the public health community had to spend a lot of time and resources urging Americans not to inject themselves with bleach? That was bad. Misinformation was and remains a huge problem, but most errors are made by people who are working in earnest for the good of society. I need you guys to understand this. Even though the liberals, again, went absolutely nuts over the 2020 jabs, trying to cancel people, trying to tell people, well, hey, if you don't get your shot, we don't care if you die. You heard it all from them. The author of this op-ed is stating, most errors are made by people who are working in earnest for the good of society. Even in one of the more colossal medical mistakes in American world, not just American, world history, they're still saying we were doing it for the good of society. We were doing that which was morally right in our own eyes. You guys destroyed society. We have a guitar legend who's sitting here telling you, caused a rift in his own family. Someone like Anthony Fauci is still walking around. Somebody with AutoPen wrote for him, granted him clemency. So there's no legal liability in regards to what he did regarding this pandemic. This was absolutely criminal at the highest level. And here we have a liberal writer stating we're doing this for the good of society. Let's turn the page back about 5 years or so.
Thanks to the work of the Biden administration, Dr. Fauci, we already have millions of kids around the country who have gotten vaccinated, which means that if you're still thinking about it, get informed, talk to somebody you trust, your family doctor, your pediatrician, a school nurse, get more information about it. They'll tell you it's safe, it's effective. This vaccine is tailored for kids, and then come on down and find a spot to get vaccinated. You can get it for free just by going to vaccine.gov. It'll tell you exactly where you can go to get vaccinated, and make sure to do it, as you said, for your kids, your entire family, as well as for the community at large.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get these delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this? Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be breakfast? Okay. I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination. Vaccination. I'm getting a very good feeling about vaccination right this moment.
Woke up this morning, did you know you were going to be receiving the vaccine?
I did, yes. So, all of my staff, we are excited to get the vaccine. We are in the COVID unit, so therefore, my team will be getting first chances to get the vaccine. And I know that it's really, I'm sorry, I'm feeling really dizzy. I'm sorry.
You okay?
Get out.
Get out.
Yo, stop.
Get out. Get out.
What you guys doing?
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
What you guys doing?
Get out.
What's wrong with
Get out.
you?
Get out. Don't touch me.
Don't you have
Do
kids?
not touch me.
Get out.
Do not touch me.
Get out. I'm not touching you.
Do not
Oh,
touch
did you just hit me? Did you just hit me?
You just hit me.
You just hit me? You too?
Black Lives Matter.
Yo, this is racist. Wow.
Get out. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Stop. Yo, stop recording me. I don't know you. Yo, you need to stop.
Get
No, I'm not getting out. I was here.
Yes, you are.
As Christmas approaches, many of us will be faced with a new dilemma: how to handle unvaccinated loved ones and whether you should spend time with them over the festive season, sit next to them at Christmas dinner.
So how do you find out who is vaccinated, and how do you decide whether to invite them over for Christmas lunch? We've got the tips and the tricks to help you avoid awkward.
Oh, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Get in.
Oh, God, that hurt. You good?
You okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked for that, dude. What?
Okay.
You have sheriffs upstate who have said, I'm not going to enforce the law. Now, how a law enforcement officer says, I choose not to enforce that law, I believe that law enforcement officer violates his or her constitutional duty. I don't consider them a law enforcement officer because you don't have the right to pick laws that you think you will enforce, and you don't enforce laws that you don't agree with.
It's not.
Stop it! Let's go with my wrist! Oh my God! Oh my God! This is bullshit! You're not arresting me! Is he an actual police officer?
I don't know.
Somebody needs to call the police. Okay, so you're arresting.
I don't think you can arrest her for not wearing a mask.
Somebody needs to call the police.
This is not a warning.
Call
Call the cops right now.
the cops?
Yeah. Will you talk to them? I don't know if he's a real officer. It says police on the side and on his back. I don't mean anything. But he may be, Bridget, because there's a cop car over there.
No, you're
There's a cop car over there. Do you want to call him? Tase somebody over a mask. Tasing this lady over not wearing a damn mask.
Well, guys, Eric Clapton is a rock and roll Hall of Famer. He's a legend. He's a forward-facing personality on the worldwide level. And he gets to tell his story, which is great. But there are so many people, of course, who fought against the absolute lunacy that was going on during 2020, and they never got to tell their story. They were probably abused. They were probably isolated. They were probably arrested. They were targeted in some way, maybe by coworkers, neighbors. It happened. So again, I'm glad Clapton's using his platform to, tell and share his experiences with the world. And these shots were actually not necessary. It was experimental. It was a giant psyop. And I regret that so many people, of course, suffered because of those shots. Will there be justice? That's my question. I hate that we sit and we have these conversations, but nothing ever happens. Fauci should be arrested. Cuomo, when he was presiding over New York, and he allowed all these senior citizens to pass away lonely, isolated, with no family members. How, of course, they used their power and their positions to put their boots on the neck of people who are fighting against that nonsense. All the liberals, you guys were the ones who were the secret police, quote unquote. You guys were the ones that were reporting people, that were trying to get people canceled and debanked. That was you guys, the common liberals that live down your street. And you guys were wrong, and you guys are saying we should maybe apologize, according to that Atlantic article. You guys were wrong. You owe society an apology. That's what you guys should do. We don't want to hear about how, maybe we were wrong. We did it for the greater good of society. I don't want to hear that BS. You owe society an apology. There should be damages rewarded to those who stood up, lost their licenses, no longer able to continue with their private practices, the people that lost their job, the lost wages. There should be some sort of reimbursement for all of that. And somebody like Eric Clapton or any other person who relies on their body physically to make a living. Those are all damages, of course. But shout out to Clapton. Again, absolute legend. You guys let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, never forget, 2020 was a pandemic, something greater, and by greater, I mean something worse off is coming. They use that as a practice test. Something worse will be coming. With that being said, remember, Christ is King. Deuces.